Most players do not know their expected value when playing in arena direct events. You're playing to win booster boxes and collector's booster boxes. If you played enough events, are you going to win these boxes, or are you lighting your money on fire? I made a calculator to break down this exact question. I'll put a link in the description below to the calculator so you can play with it yourself, but I'm going to go over it and show you what you can expect to make at what win rates, at what box values, and all the different events that there are. By the end of this video, you will know the exact win rate that you need to have in order to be playing in these events without losing sleep at night. Caveat, they are very high variance. You should still probably lose sleep at night. Let's dive in. First, let's take a quick peek at the different formats there are for Arena Direct. There are Sealed and Magic the Gathering Draft, all best of ones. They either cost 6,000 or 8,000 gems, which in US dollar terms is $30 or $40. And there are Play Booster, Collector Booster, Universes Beyond Play Boosters, and Universes Beyond Collector Boosters. You can expect to get 0 or 2 wins more than 50% of the time when you play in these. We're going to look at the calculator in just a second, and I will prove that. But you get no reward when you do that. So most of the time, you are setting that money on fire. However, if you get a couple wins, you get a little bit of a pity prize. At 4 wins, you can expect to get basically your money back, but not quite. And 5 wins is where it starts to become profitable. At 6 wins, for the play boosters, you get 1 box. At 7 wins, you get 2 boxes. And for the collector's boosters, you start to get a box at only 7 wins before 2 losses. So if you want to win boxes, let's take a look at the calculator. All right, so we can see there is the 4 different formats we just looked at. All of these were loaded in from that website. So we have play boosters. We will look at first. And you can see if the box was worth $120 and you had a 55% win rate, you should expect to lose almost 10% of your value of your money every single time you enter. If you had a 57% win rate, now you can see you're actually in the plus EV side. Sometimes booster boxes go for more money, and now you're massively in the plus EV side. And let's say you have a lower win rate. And now you can see if we play with the calculator, roughly between 55% and $125 boxes for maybe 56%. 120, we make it 57%. So you can see that in order to go plus EV in the play boosters, you need to have a win rate of around 57%. Now, obviously, there are other things to take into consideration. When you sell this $120 box, is eBay going to take a cut of the fees and you're only making $90 in profit? You got to pay shipping. Oh no, you're making $75. Okay, now you're really burning money, even at a high win rate. So you have to take those things into account when you use this calculator. And maybe you sell it to your friend. Your friend wants to buy it too. He lives next door. You get the full price. You don't have to pay shipping. You don't have to pay anything. Now let's look at the collector boosters. These are worth a lot more. You need to get that 7-win run in order to earn them. We can actually also scroll down here and see the outcome probabilities. Like I said, you're going to expect, even at a 57% win rate, and I use 57% because that's roughly where you need to break even. It's also roughly where I assume my win rate is going to be when I'm playing these. Some sets I've literally had 70% win rate, like Avatar, and some sets, 57 seems to be right around where I always end up hovering, but it varies in that range, probably up to like 63%. That being said, you're playing against other people who want collector's boxes and probably have a better than average win rate, which might bring your win rate down a little bit. Safer to assume you have a slightly lower win rate in these events than you would in the actual typical normal limited draft mode or whatever. But we can see the win probabilities here. To get that box, it's only going to happen about 7.8% of the time, even at a 50% win rate. You're going to get 0 to 2 wins almost 60% of the time. That's brutal, and it does add up to pretty much reality. When I won my Lorwyn Eclipsed box, collector's box, I did go 0-2, I think 3 times. And then 4th time is the charm. I went 7-0 and got myself a box. So these events are extremely high variance. That is one thing to keep in mind. Here is the format structure, and you can see the value conversions here. I do assume that packs are worth 20 gems because if you own all of the rares on Arena, you do get your gems instead of just getting a duplicate. That's only worth 10 cents, so it's not going to affect your EV massively. So if you don't own all of the rares and mythics where you get 40 gems per, don't worry about it. But I did like to include it here just because I think that if you're playing in these events, one, this is a long-term EV calculator, so you really need to make sure you have, the consideration that you're going to play this multiple times. If you're looking at this calculator and going to play one entry, there's no point. Your one entry is either going to be a great pool or a bad pool, and your win rate's probably not going to come into play very much if you do exactly one run. If you do 100 runs, now the packs start to add up. Now your overall EV is going to level out. You're going to get good luck. You're going to get bad luck. So does everyone else. This is a long-term value prospect here. Let's take a peek at the Universes Beyond play boosters. They're very similar to the other boosters, except they're slightly worse value. Why is that? Don't ask me. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, I yelled at the AI, and now Universes Beyond play boosters are correct. They are massively minus EV compared to the regular play boosters, which is very fascinating to me. They cost more to enter, and I mean, I guess they're trying to say that the boxes are worth more money. I can't validate that. Things like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I don't know if that's going to hold value or not, but yeah. That's why you can play with this calculator and put in your own values. Each set is going to be different. Lastly, let's take a look at the Universes Beyond Collector Booster because that is the event that is going to be happening this weekend. Magic's website says that the box is worth $450, $455. At a 56% win rate, that's an 11% ROI. However, if you bring it down to the amount that you can get for it on TCG Player, now it's just barely break even at 56% win rate. All that being said, what did we learn from this calculator? The takeaways that I got from doing this exercise were that as long as you're a decent player, it's not really going to be plus EV. It's also not going to be minus EV. You're basically gambling. That's why this video is brought to you by... Just kidding, I don't have any gambling sponsors. Fuck gambling. This is the only kind of gambling I do, baby. And, that's all I got. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. You can check out this calculator. A link in the description below. If you notice anything wrong with it, Claude did it. Don't blame me. Peace.